there's a lot of skepticism recently about ADHD, especially in the media, about the self-diagnosis movement, mostly during the pandemic and after the pandemic as well. A lot of people were turning to social media, and there was a ADHD sort of trend, essentially, which people were listing symptoms, listing their own experiences, and sort of self-diagnosing themselves with ADHD, right? So let's go for this. Let's look at this one down here. Help, my daughter got some quack to diagnose her with ADHD, but I think she's just lazy. So that's a really, really good example of the sort of contrast between character flaw, lazy, and ADHD, psychiatric illness, right? So this tension is very apparent in this self-diagnosis movement, right? Essentially, some people argue that people want an ADHD diagnosis because they feel like their laziness or their, character flaws in whatever way, their difficulty concentrating, their difficulty organising themselves isn't their fault, and it's actually because they have ADHD. And maybe they do, but maybe they don't. And it's interesting because, as you will see from the data I'm about to show you, look at the rise in ADHD diagnoses since 1995. So, there are different ages here spread out, but it's risen massively, and this is only up to 2010. So that's 15 years, and there's been a really, really big rise in ADHD diagnoses. So that suggests one of two things. One being, okay, people are more aware of ADHD, it's less stigmatized, there's more attention around it, and people are more educated about the symptoms and the signs and the presence of the condition, that they are coming forward for diagnosis. And that may be one possibility. The other possibility is that actually more and more people are getting diagnosed because they think a diagnosis of ADHD is preferable or better than having a character flaw like disorganization or having trouble concentrating or having trouble focusing. And potentially they want that diagnosis and they want the treatments because the treatments are effective. So you have to bear that in mind as well. And let's break that down a little bit further.